that once in an Instagram thing. She said, wax on, wax off. I'm like, wait a minute. She's like, yeah, I said that. I was like,
oh, Dr. Funnies.
I know. She unsent it like 2 minutes afterwards.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
No, she didn't.
No, she kept it up.
Maybe I did.
She did.
I stood on it.
Yeah, she stood on it. You did. Oh, I'm done.
Jesus Christ. All right, next scene. All right, so this is
Yes.
we finally get the backstory of Mr. Miyagi, right?
Right.
What he has gone through. So he was in the war, World War II to be specific, because he said he was fighting Germans, and so during that time, he while he was in the war, he finds out that his wife and son pass away due to complications of childbirth. And then every year since, I'm pretty sure he just drinks to her memory, to both their memories. And we see that Danielson is actually seeing the firsthand kind of what Mr. Miyagi is kind of going through, because normally Mr. Miyagi is very stoic, not very emotional at a lot of points, but he's a little sauced at the moment, and he's finally seeing this other side of Mr. Miyagi, more emotional, as well as him just tributing to his family. I guess this is we want to see a little bit, like, kind of want to see what our caregivers, our mentors, kind of what they're going through at certain points and at certain times, because we may never know, even though they act like they have a front with us, behind the scenes could be a whole bunch of things happening, right? And at the end of the day, it feels like Mr. Miyagi, this was actually a really good thing for Daniel to see, so that he could actually see that his teacher had these different emotions and different things were going on in his head, that he was a veteran, who who fought in a war, killed people. It really humanized him, instead of it just being just do karate, that's it, blah blah blah. While on the other side, we see that Johnny and John Kreese is told the opposite, right? It's more about like kill, kill, kill. That's all it's about with him. And Cobra Kai, there are no life lessons besides just being the winner, being on top, and that's about it. While Mr. Miyagi, it's more about like he is in the dirt, and you kind of got to learn a lot from there. So yeah, what about this scene really touched you, Dr. Funnies?
Yeah, I think it is just like you said, the humanizing of Mr. Miyagi. He is normally pretty stoic, not a lot of emotion. And it's the first time Daniel sees that he has a background, that he had a life before living as this maintenance man in the back of this apartment complex, fixing sinks all day. Like, no, he actually had a life before, and one that had a trauma in it, a tragedy, losing your wife and child while you're away at war, let alone being at war, whatever you're thinking of then and all the traumas you're seeing then, and now you got to deal with when you get back home, your wife and child are not going to be there, So on top of that, when Daniel leaves, you notice that he sees that Mr. Miyagi got I think it's called the Medal of Valor, I think, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And he's just kind of in awe, recognizing like, no, this guy is not only is he a human, he was a pretty awesome guy, like he's been through some things, and it's the first time Daniel actually turns to bow at Mr. Miyagi without Mr. Miyagi saying bow, like come on, bow. No, he shows him respect, even though Mr. Miyagi is obviously passed out and can't really tell that what he's doing, but he still wants to show like, no, I respect you, because obviously you've really been through some things, and for you to still present like you're a put together human and try to teach me things while you have this in your history and your background, that's that's commendable. That's something not to be taken lightly. So I'm going to listen to this man and whatever he tells me to do, because he's actually a good person.
Yeah, it humanizes it. It shows that maybe you'll even love and trust your person, your caregiver, even more if you get to see some of their damage bits, some of their scars. Because now you don't think that they're perfect, Spence. Now you're like,
that's that part.
If they could be damaged and still be happy, or still keep moving, or still choosing to live, then maybe I can.
Yeah.
If they are flawed, maybe I can be flawed, but also still be successful. I did a talk with these first gen students the other day on Thursday. Oh yeah, because I sent Spence some photos. And I went up there, Spence, and I was supposed to go talk and do this really lovely script that I wrote up, and you know, just telling them to just continue to love themselves, keep working, like anything is possible. And then we were supposed to do this podcast called Southpaw that night. And so that shit traumatized the shit out of me because I ain't seen it in a while. Jake Gyllenhaal. So I was in this weird mindset. Good mindset, but just very grateful of everything that I have. And so I went up there, Dr. Funnies, I ain't gonna lie, man. I went up there and I cried for 12 minutes. And I was just telling kids, you know, you come from fucked up shit. I remember watching my father in prison when I go to the little playpen, right? And there's tons of emotions about that. It was awesome, but also I feel like I wasted so much time as a dumb kid. I should have been playing with my father instead of fucking around with the toys in the prison yard, or whatever the little thing that they had. But then me and my father talk all the time. Look how far we've come now. Oh, I told the kids, like, I own my own business now, and I love all these kids, and I'm saving all these lives. And I said, I cried for a week straight when I brought my new car because I'm not supposed to have these nice things.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm telling the kids, you know, love your family, set boundaries, because you're all first gen students. There's a lot of pressure. And I'm just up there crying, man, being raw and emotional. And that was the closing speech. The first speech, magnificent, by this lady, awesome Mexican woman, right? And she's the director of this center, right? And it was so articulate and wonderful. Man, I went up there and just cried. I'm like,
thankfully, it was the last one. That would have been the first one to start.
Like, hard to follow.
Thank God. Yeah, can you imagine? She'd be like, I'm gonna just go ahead and concede. Bro, and I look into the crowd. I haven't even told Spence about this yet because we haven't talked yet. It's been a long week. And I look into the crowd, man, and it's about 70 people, and it is all sobbing, Spence.
Wow.
There's grown-ass professors in there sobbing.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people came up to me, and some grown folks came up to me. They didn't know what to say because they were tweeting. They're like, what do I say to this big brown motherfucker? I don't know. They was just like, that was awesome, man. And I was like, yup.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do no one be good as hell when it was like, yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Right. You know, there were tears.
So I'm my brother.
No, that's raw. That's real.
It was super real. But then some kids came up, and I know how to act with kids. And so we just kept building on it, man. And laughter and love. And, you know, you're going to fuck up and the world's going to take some shit from you, and you can choose to allow it to poison you, or you can move forward. So I bring up this story because I had some babies in there, had some kids in there. And some of my young Hispanic women stayed to just hear me speak. And I said, it's going to be a tough one. And I swear to God, I kid you not, way in the back row, I seen them two little motherfuckers in the back row. I seen you ain't a lot of brown kids in this crowd. And I seen them, they was doing this, Spence.
Oh, they were recording you.
They was recording me, those little fuckers.
We got them.
We got them.
Right.
We got them. So I can't wait to get it. So maybe, because if you can hear it, I want my dad to hear it. And I said, you know, I'm showing you all these emotions and being raw because, men, we got really high suicide rates. And we need to know that it's okay to be in pain. We need to be better as a population. We need to care for each other, and we need to love deeply and wildly. And I just lost my shit when I said that. And I think Miyagi probably was closed down for a while, Spence, and then he meets this boy, and then he starts gaining life and juice. Right? That last scene, you know, we're going to show it. He's proud with his head up.
Yeah.
I say this.
So true.
It's so true. I say this because we're all wounded. But man, sometimes healing people heals us. And any therapist that thinks they ain't getting a healing from healing other people, you're lying. You're lying.
Yeah, you're right. I was just talking with Spence before we got on that, being a therapist is still a job, and at the end of the day, sometimes you don't want to go to work because you're tired because, it's still a job.
Yep.
But I know for me, sometimes I'll feel like that and I'll tell my husband and he'll be like, oh, whatever, you'll be fine in a few minutes because I know how you do, which is
Right.
very true. You get in there and you get in those sessions and somehow it rejuvenates you. I know it does for me because it's like, oh, right, I have a purpose here. I am helping someone. I am providing this space for someone and they are working through their stuff with me. Like it's such an honor when I'm in it and it's happening. But of course, like some mornings you're like, oh God, I don't want to go to work. I'm so tired. Oh, but then you
So,
get in there and it's all good.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop!